Nittany Nation, we are back again. Episode 15.
I know I might look like I'm a USC fan, but I'm not. Not holding up V's. I'm holding up twos, baby. Twos. That's what I'm holding up. The number 2.
We have the poll. Coach's poll doesn't really matter. The AP poll has us at number 2.
This is exciting. Look at that. Look at the teams that were just, and to be completely honest, I don't know if Texas is going to be a number 1 team this year.
Right? It's Texas versus Ohio State week 1. We'll find out a lot about those too.
So, question then, just, before we get into the nitty gritty. If Ohio State beats Texas, so Ohio State goes straight to number 1?
I think so. Yeah. Just because then they have the case of beating number 1.
Where does Texas go then? I'm curious. Probably.
Ooh, that'll be interesting.
I would say.
Or Ohio State. Where does either one of them fall?
So I think if it's Texas being the 1, I'd say they would fall all the way down to 6 or 7. Ohio State loses being the 3. I see them going down to like 9 or 10.
Yeah, because you also have, Notre Dame and Miami play each other, so that's top 10. So one of those teams is going to drop too. And then you have LSU Clemson. So,
oh my God.
So you're guaranteed 3 of these top 10 teams losing week 1.
Watch out, Nevada.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm liking this. Coming in 2, I feel better coming in at 2 than I do coming in at 1. If that's a weird thing to say.
No, I get it, because there's not very many teams that go wire to wire number 1.
Man, now it's got me thinking. I'm trying to think. Is that like Alabama a few years back?
I think Alabama was the last team to do it. And you know how we always talk about the similarities between this year's Penn State, last year's Ohio State team, and the year before that's Michigan team?
Yep.
Guess where Michigan and Ohio State were ranked in the first poll? Number 2.
I don't. Once again, if you guys, anybody who's loyal to this channel knows, it's just one of those too good to be true situations here. I don't lie. It's, we're walking around like a duck. We're quacking like a duck. I think we might be a duck.
Right? Everything's following the script from the last 2 years. Bring back all your veterans so that they don't go into the draft.
Check.
Bring all those guys back. Fill your biggest holes in the transfer portal.
Check.
Be ranked number 2.
Check. So let me ask you a question here then.
Yeah. Being
number 2, how do you think the locker room feels? Do you think that the locker room right now, and this is all speculation, we're just having fun with this, but do you think that the locker room feels that you may be a little spited being placed at number 2 instead of number 1? Coaches pull number 1, but you think they wanted to go, or no, yeah,
number 3 in
3, yeah, sorry,
yeah.
Jesus, I meant Texas, but
yeah,
moving up 1, but not moving up all the way. How do you think they feel?
I think you have to feel pretty good about it. Like, it's just the expectations keep piling up, and they're all the same. You know what I mean? Like, there's nobody picking you not to be a national title contender, if that makes sense. Everybody's telling you you're good enough this year, whether that's good or a bad thing. Every outside noise is saying this Penn State team is good enough this year.
I'm scared. I don't know how to feel.
It's that impending doom that we live with as a fan base. It's here before the season starts.
I don't like this feeling of being. I mean, I'm stoked that everyone thinks we're good, but all of this preseason anticipation and stuff, I just want the boys to get on the field and let the game do the talking. I can't. And for those looking, just so you guys know, coming up here week 1, we're gonna have. I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, but we're having a Nevada buff, I guess you could say. A Nevada, guy come on the show. He's gonna help us out. He's gonna let us know what to watch for during that game. So that's gonna be super exciting. But I mean, I just wanted to get here.
Right. Stop with all the speculative talk and let's actually let it play out on the field. Instead of like the SEC, how they win in all the made up games, not real games. Like that's what we're doing right now. Everything that the SEC gets made fun of for winning hypotheticals. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and into actual football.
I just can't wait. I think it's going to be a great season. And it stinks that we just, once again, guys, I can't believe you guys for all tuning in. We got nothing to talk about right now. You know what, though? It's kind of funny, no news is good news in this type of time right now. You don't want to hear any breaking news coming out of camp anywhere near right now. So we're going to take what we got here and we're going to make it work.
Yeah. And I mean, talking about LSU got news that their quarterback, tweaked his knee. So as long as we stay away from, I'm good with no news. If you look at this poll, though, you're looking. So Penn State faces number 3 Ohio State this year, number 20 Indiana, and Oregon at number 7. Forgot Oregon there. So 3 top 25 teams are on the schedule.
I'm curious as to the metrics, since, we were talking about Ohio State and Michigan going back that way. I wonder how many top 25 teams they played. If you say I think 3, I'm going to just keep. I'm going to go put on cement boots and just jump in the pool because I can't handle this anymore. The coincidences would just be way too crazy. But at the same time, though, if you want to, sometimes you just need to follow follow perfection. When you win the national championship, that is quote unquote perfection for, what you wanted to do. You got there. So why not, do what obviously seems to be working.
Yeah, looking at it, they probably faced 3. It was probably preseason. This just I can't tell really, but they faced Oregon, Penn State, and Michigan, who are all probably ranked in the top 25 last year. But the similarities are stupid.
I don't like it.
Ohio State, Michigan, they played 3 super easy cupcake games to start the season. Penn State's playing easy games the first 3 weeks. Not to overlook anybody, but
cupcake was a little wild. I like to call them tune-up games. You put a little respect on the other team. We're trying to tune up the band over here. There ain't no cupcakes in this league.
I like tune-up. I like that.
We just got to tune a couple things. Yeah, cupcakes around here, unless they're nothing but cakes. Then now we're talking.
We did have a little impromptu press conference at fall camp today from Franklin and James Knowles. So one of the things that came up was if there's any freshmen standing out that'll make early contributions, which is always, who you bring in 20 something odd kids. Are any of them ready to play right away? And head coach James Franklin actually mentioned 3 players. Defensive end, Yvonne Kamaju, which our boy Dylan mentioned.
Shout out again to our boy Dylan. Shout out.
Defensive back Darius Dixon and defensive end Chaz Coleman. So all on the defensive side, which has kind of been Penn State's forte. They don't really bring in offensive guys that make a big to do right away. The defensive guys seem to make more headway early on.
does seem to be an ongoing trend right now where the defensive guys come in and make a splash real quick. And it's, it's to be honest, and no disrespect to anybody who plays defense, but it's a little bit easier to play defense than it is to play offense, just by the grand scheme of, okay, let's say you're a defensive back. Okay, you just got to play cover 2. Okay, everybody knows what cover 2 is. All right, you are a linebacker. All right, you're gonna shoot, you're gonna stunt, no problem. Everybody knows what that means. Every offense is different, so you have to learn every offense as you go. So I think it is easier for the defensive side to make an impact, especially if you grow into your body. Some of these kids that they have a defense, they're coming in looking like full-grown adults, and it's horrifying to see that. So yeah, it makes sense, and you'd want the guys on defense who are going to be studs to get more action. You want them hitting pads quick. You want them hitting pads early. Whereas the offensive side, you want them to last. Now, with this new NIL stuff that we see, there's a lot more chances of players staying 4 years than, going eligible for the draft. So at that point, you might as well preserve the offensive assets that you have so that you can, keep the offense going. I think one thing I noticed is a lot of people said that the NIL was going to kill NCAA, and I believe that it's actually going to bring it back. And especially in sports like football and basketball, you're going to see squads now go on runs in the tournament now, as opposed to guys just going straight to the draft, because you might be making more money, playing on St. John's, on the basketball team and things like that. So I think it's good that these players are definitely moving. Everyone seems to be moving in the right direction with Coach Franklin, but I think it makes sense for the offensive players to push to take them longer to develop than the defensive players.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot more verbiage that goes along with the offense too, where on the defense, you're just, there's each position group's doing a different thing, where every player has a different assignment on offense,
It's so much more. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, it's learning.
I literally was going to say it's so much more. That was it. That's all I was going to say.
It's an entirely different language on offense. Like you're learning, it's like learning Mandarin, kind of. You're coming in, you have no idea what the word lemon means, but it means something in that offense.
I was trying to think of a quick acronym for lemon. I couldn't think of anything off the top of my head real quick.
I threw a dud word out there.
Left easy motion, option, niner on 2. Ready, break.
And then one omission, a guy that got a lot of buzz was LeVar Arrington Jr. or the second or the third, whatever.
LeVar Arrington. I believe it's LeVar Arrington's.
We'll go with that.
We don't know if it's Junior or the second. We're going to go with LeVar Arrington's.
But he got a lot of hype, over the summer, but wasn't mentioned here as kind of like the 3 freshmen that James Franklin highlighted.
Time for me to play devil's advocate. With the name like LeVar Arrington's, I mean, do you think he's trying to not let the name get to his head, try to get him a little more motivation, to get a little more out of him in the gym? Something, it's maybe a coaching tactic here, don't get full of yourself, kid. You're still a freshman, all right? There is a freshman team that you can go play for if you want right now. And so, I mean, like, at the end of the day, I think this could be I think this is Coach Franklin playing 4D chess once again.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because he's somewhat due to his name. I mean, obviously, the kid's talented, and he came in ripped.
Oh, my God.
He came in looking the part.
I wonder, let me see if I can pull it up real quick here. I would love to see if I could pull up.
Yeah, while you're pulling that up, the one name we haven't heard is that Chaz Coleman, defensive end. Which position of need, you can never have too many edges or defensive ends on a defense. You can never have too many of those. And if they're talking about this kid as like a guy that can make immediate impact, I think that's huge for this defense.
Oh, 100%. At the end of the day, if you can, I mean, even if it's one down per per series. If you're coming in on third down to give the other guys breathers, that still goes miles and miles further than a lot of people think. At the end of the day, it's crazy, what one down, can do for you. If you play one down every set, let's say you play 1 out of 3 every time, that's still reps in a game that definitely, you're going to need as many reps as soon as you can getting into a league like the Big Ten or the SEC.
Yeah, and you give DDS a breather out there on the edge, and Zariah Fisher, he's coming off a bunch of injuries, so you never know how much he's going to hold up. So if they can get as many as they can to contribute to a rotation, that'll only be more helpful.
There he is. So there's LeVar Arrington Jr. That's the one I could find there.
Yeah, so they're making 18-year-olds different nowadays.
I wish they made me like this when I was playing high school football. This isn't fair. These kids are coming out as full professional athletes. You know what I feel like this is going towards? I don't know if this is an actual thing that could possibly happen, but I mean, obviously it can, but this is pushing so much towards one high school kid just going to go, you know what, I'm going pro. No, straight to the pros. I throw the ball 80 yards. It's going to be some crazy thing like that. That's going to be absurd. And I'm all here for it.
Yeah. If you're good enough, why not? Basketball has always fought that. You know what? They put in the rule right after LeBron went straight high school to the pros that they had to play 1 year somewhere else.
It'll obviously never happen, but
right.
It's just it's just so crazy how these kids are learning how to do interviews as sophomores in high school. You're 15, 16 years old and you're doing communications courses to make sure that you're saying all the right things.
Yeah, they're building brands in high school. That's crazy. 5 years ago, that I don't feel like that was happening. I feel like this is also new. And I'm all for it.
Brand new.
Build your brand, get your money, do you.
Oh, man. What was it? What's the saying? We were too young to be tech billionaires and too old to make money in high school playing football.
That's going to be the new saying, at least.
Man, just missed that one. But no, you know what? And in that, it seems to work all the way to the next level, because speaking of the next level, coming out of training camp in the preseason, have you seen what Abdul Carter has been doing?
Yeah, just abusing other pro athletes. Just abusing
I know it's preseason, but I think the Giants are very, very happy with their investment.
These guys have families. They need jobs. And Abdul Carter is going to make a couple of these guys unemployed.
It will be fun. I will just be keeping not a close eye, but I will be looking over the fence to see what the New York Giants are doing this season, just to keep tabs on Abdul.
Yeah, what was cool is Micah Parsons posted about Abdul too.
Really?
Yeah, he I don't know he posted something about they asked him about if Abdul Carter was next guy up, and he said no, he's going to be the best, basically. Better than him, better than the string of edge rushers that Penn State's had. Micah said that Abdul could be the best.
Was this a clip or a
tweet, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was just tweet. But yeah, if you're, Micah's over here fighting for his money from Jerry Jones, he's still got time to throw some good vibes over at Abdul.
All right, this is even better, because Abdul coming back and being a dog. All right, I found the tweet. 1 second, please. Let me pop this up for everybody. Dude, for anybody who has kids, you know exactly what that is.
We're gonna get copyright strike.
All right, so I don't know. There we go. So here we go. Boom. So Micah Parsons. They asked me if Abdul could be another great. I told them he could be the best one. So then, Mike Abdul Carter, to his credit, goes, "My brother, can't wait to see you get paid what you earned." Oh, so a double-edged sword coming that one. Love to see that kind of stuff, though. You know what? I mean, when a guy, like you said, like Micah Parsons is giving you the praise, I think you go ahead and just take that one. You take that one in. You absorb that one, and you tell the guy, get your bag.
Yeah. And I just like the brotherhood they have at Penn State, you know. Players come back. Speaking of that, wide receivers are working on jump balls at camp today, and Allen Robinson was there helping along with the drill.
No way.
Yeah, like probably one of the greatest jump ball wide receivers at Penn State just stopped in at camp today.
Hey guys, I was in the neighborhood.
Like, that's just what's cool. The Penn State guys, they come back, you know, and that's got to speak a lot to what James Franklin's been trying to build.
Building the team, building the community from the ground. And it's so funny because it's literally been a ground up type feel for Coach Franklin just because of what we've gone through. And yeah. I mean, I hate to beat a dead horse, but I still just have that feel. It's like right there. It's like that little thing, just, you know, that little feel you have right on the back of your neck. And you just know it's like something could happen.
Yeah.
I'll be happy when I'm not. I'll be happy when I'm wrong.
Once the games start, we'll feel a little bit better. Until we go against Oregon.
Then we're really gonna know how we feel for the rest of the season. That's where it's really gonna come into play. And at the end of the day, we're just gonna have to figure it out, you know. But you know what? For the viewers, though, you'll have to definitely, because I am a very emotional. A whole week can be ruined by one Saturday. So
like the post game shows could be epic.
Wait till you see some of the crash outs that are probably going to happen, even when we win. Because I'm going to find stuff to get mad about when we win. So don't worry. God forbid we lose a game this season.
You'll see a couple grown men crying if we lose.
I don't know about crying, but you might see stuff flying across this camera that should be stationary. You might see the camera fly.
Right. The camera might just be gone.
You yeet it into it. You know, it might have technical difficulties. We'll see. You never know.
So, going back to fall camp and like the little bit of press conference they did do, and we'll finish with this for this show. This was kind of concerning. Jim Knowles, defense coordinator, was asked about the Nittany Lions linebackers, and he said they only have 3 right now that they really trust: Tony Rojas, Amari Campbell, and Dom DeLuca. The 3 we all know are like top tier. He said none of the reserves have truly separated themselves. Optimistic long term, but short term could be a problem, you know, if none of these guys behind those main 3 step up.
Hear me out. Just like Coach Franklin didn't bring up LeVar Arrington's name. Arrington's. There we go. I had to make sure I enunciate the last name there right. Is this just another ploy to light a fire under his linebacker's ass?
I'm hoping so. Like, because you need more than 3 linebackers to get through an entire season.
You need a lot more than 3 linebackers to get through a football season.
Like, you're talking about, you need Anthony Specca to step up. That's one name that they need to get into this talk. Keon Wiley, who's been injured, he needs to kind of elevate. Like, there's dudes there. They just need to take that next step and show that Coach Knowles can trust them in the defense.
Because now, see, that's and we brought this up a few episodes ago. We've never had this problem. This is a new problem for Penn State. You're telling us that Penn State is weak at linebacker? I'm sorry, are you speaking Spanish? Because I don't think I understand the words that are coming out of your mouth right now. What do you mean we're weak at linebacker? We're linebacker you.
Yeah. LBU maybe have an identity crisis this year. Because it's probably the weakest group of the defense.
No, we broke it down. We broke it down a few episodes ago. We talked about that. It was, and we probably spent a good half of that episode like two monkeys sitting here scratching our heads going, how is that possible?
Yeah. I mean, thankfully Campbell came, in the transfer portal.
I mean,
we had Tamir Robinson. He transferred to USC unexpectedly, but even if he didn't, and we're still looking at 3 regardless, the depth behind.
That's all we did.
Yeah, essentially. Like the depth behind, we're still waiting for them to get locked in.
Oof. Well, thank goodness Coach Frank. One of the guys that Coach Franklin talked up was a linebacker, wasn't he?
No. It was 2 defensive linemen and a defensive back.
Once again, that is not good. So
right.
Just to kind of, that's insane that we're not bringing up linemen and deep over the linebackers. It's just, I don't know how to feel about that. So I guess at the end of the day, I still think this could be a ploy. Jim Knowles looks so no nonsense that this could be a little bit of nonsense.
Yeah. Like at some point you got to call it out too. If there is an actual problem, like put the onus on the players to step up,
And that, like my first point, this might just be him lighting a fire under their ass, going, hey, it's time to nut up or shut up. Like, let's get this into gear and let's go.
Right. We have, how many days do we have? We got to get this right.
Hold on. Let me ask AI. Let me ask AI real quick. Real fast. How many days until Penn State plays football?
It's gotta be what? It's gotta be under 20.
August 30th. So
18 days?
18 days. That's
18 days.
That's us doing math, ladies and gentlemen. In case you were wondering at home, that was us doing math. Thank you. Oh, hold on. I forgot to say thank you to AI. In case Terminator. Thank you.
So 18 days. This could like you be. Hey, we got 18 days to figure out where we sit at linebacker. Somebody needs to step up in the next 18 days.
Oh, it sounds horrifying. It sounds horrifying. You have 18 days
to figure yourselves out.
It's like, oh my God. All right. Guess we're just going to have to go back to college, Andy. I think that's what's going to have to happen here. You and I just got to put the pads back on, brother.
I could maybe give you a play, but it's probably not going to go well.
I don't think I'll make it out of the locker room.
I'm going to get winded getting dressed.
Oh, my head. Oh, God. Just like that old gypsy lady told me.
All right. With that said, we're going to wrap it up for this episode. We want to thank you guys because the last episode was our most watched episode so far.
Let's go.
Just like the episode before that was the most watched. So, obviously we're trying to do something good for you guys, your fans, and you guys are seeing that. And we're getting the views. We need the likes, the subscribe, the reviews to keep this channel growing. And we want to thank you guys for watching.
Honestly, I'm getting every episode. I get more and more excited to do this because we get more and more people tuning in. We get more and more people just staying in too. So, honestly, a huge thank you to you guys for just, sticking around with us and, listening to us, listening to two doofuses over here talk football at the end of the day. But before we go, we do have something from our big brothers at Voice of College Football. So before we do I'm going to say goodbye right now. But Andy, is there anything you want to say before we run it?
No, just thanks for watching, guys. You know, we do this as something fun to do, and if people enjoy it, that's a bonus.
Absolutely, guys. Have a wonderful day. And now is a little something from the Voice of College Football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select the betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.